All right, so this is my Week 19 NBA Power Rankings. Let's get started. So we got a lot of injuries here. Got a lot of people coming back as well. Onyeka Okongwu's back for the Hawks. Jose Alvarado's now back for the Pelicans. Um, Joel Embiid is only about 3 to 5 weeks away, so maybe the beginning of April he can come back. D'Anthony Melton is going to be injured for 1 to 2 weeks there. Blazers got Moses Brown back. The Pistons got Isaiah Stewart and Marcus Sasser back. Lakers got Cam Reddish back. Um, Suns got Devin Booker is going to be out for a week-ish. Torrey Craig could potentially return this week or early next week when he was supposed to be out for almost a month. So that's good. Rockets, Tari Eason is actually going to be out for the season. He had, a questionable timetable last week, but now he did have to go under surgery and then he's going to be out for the season. The Heat got Terry Rozier back. Josh Richardson is questionable to return this week, and they also got Thomas Bryant back. Raptors do have Scottie Barnes injured for about 4 weeks, or basically up until the playoffs at that point if they are able to make it into the play-in. Clippers, Russell Westbrook's in the same situation. He's going to be out for about 4 weeks. Just hopefully he can return before the playoffs for them. And the Cavs are going to be without Donovan Mitchell for 1 week. All right, so 30, you got the Wizards. They're 9-52, 0-4 on the week, and have lost 15 straight games. Now the worst record in the entire NBA, so obviously not a very good team. And then over here, I do have I'm listing the top rookies from every single team. And the top number up here is their minutes per game. So Coulibaly is playing about 27 minutes a game. He's playing pretty solid as well. But you guys can go look at those numbers by yourself. Number 29 is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. They're 21-41, 1-3 on the week. Played the Blazers twice and lost to them twice, so that's not great there. Number 28 is going to be the Detroit Pistons, who are 9-51 and went 1-2 on the week. Do got a couple of good rookies here, which is good for them. They also did cut Mike Muscala and Shake Milton, who ended up getting signed by other teams. I'll go over the signings when I get to those teams. But yeah, they cut a couple guys, but they didn't, obviously not been a good team all season. Number 27 is going to be the Charlotte Hornets, who are 0-4 on the week, are 15-46 overall, dropping 7 spots here. They actually did go sign Alexis Pokusevski after the Thunder cut him, so maybe he could be a good role player for them. 26 is going to be the Portland Trail Blazers, who are 17-43, had a 2-2 week here after having 8 straight losses, so that's good there for them. Being number 26 isn't horrible for them right now. Obviously not a really good team, but they do got a couple of good rookies. Number 25 is going to be the San Antonio Spurs, who are 13-48, and they went 2-1 on the week. So a good week there for the Spurs. They beat the Thunder, which is really good, and the Pacers. They also did end up cutting Marcus Morris, who is still a free agent, but would likely be signed by a contender here soon. Number 24 is going to be the Utah Jazz, 28-34 on the season, 1-3 on the week, dropping a couple of spots here. They did not play great. Lost to the Hawks, Magic, Heat, and their only win was against the Washington Wizards, who, everybody's beating right now. 23 is going to be the Atlanta Hawks, who are 26-34. They only went 1-2 on the week. Not the best week for them, but you can't really be complaining too much because they do not have Trae Young. They did lose to the Nets twice, which is not good for them because, that's who they're fighting with right there for the 10 seed is them and the Nets and stuff. So definitely would like to have won those games, but they still got a decent lead on them. They also did cut Patty Mills from their team. 22 is going to be the Toronto Raptors, who are 23-38, went 1-2 on the week, and are going to drop 3 spots. So obviously, with Scottie Barnes being injured for about a month, definitely going to hurt the Raptors here a little bit. Obviously, their only win was against the Hornets this week, so they're not the best week for them either. Number 21 is going to be the Chicago Bulls, who are 29-32. They're the main play-in seed here at number 9 right now, 3.5 games up from the next 10 seed spot, so they're probably going to be solidified there in the play-in, which is good for them. But still, right now, not one of the best teams. But a 2-2 week is, pretty solid for them. Number 20 is going to be the Brooklyn Nets, who went 2-2 on the week themselves, beat the Hawks twice. They got to be they're only 2.5 games back from the Hawks right now as it stands. They also did sign Jacob Gilliard, who was been on the Grizzlies earlier this year, since they signed him. Number 19 is going to be the Houston Rockets, who went 1-2 on the week, are 26-34 overall. They're sitting 6 games away from the playing spot, so probably not going to be looking too good for them there. But they didn't have a horrible week. They beat the Suns once, they lost to the Suns once, and they lost to the Thunder. So they lost to a couple of good teams and had a win against a good team as well. So not a bad week for the Rockets. Number 18 is going to be the New York Knicks, who are 36-25, and they went 1-2 on the week. They've been doing pretty solid. Obviously have some injury issues. As long as they can stay roughly around 500 until they get the rest of their guys healthy, will be fine. Currently sitting at the 4 seed, but they're only about 2.5 games away from dropping all the way down to the 8 spot. But this week they, lost to the Warriors and the Pelicans, and they did end up beating the Cavs, and they signed Shake Milton that the Pistons cut. The Sixers are going to be here at 17. I mean, they got a direct, or they got a win over the Hornets and the Mavs here, and only losing to the Celtics is pretty solid. So a decent week for them. They're currently sitting at the 5 seed, but only, half a game away from the 4 seed, but only 2 games up on the 8 seed. Number 16 is the Indiana Pacers, who are currently 34-28, 1-2 on the week, and are now all the way down at the 8 seed. But they're only 2.5 games away from being the 4 seed. So they've got 5 teams in there with only 2.5 games of each other. So going to have a lot of movement week to week. But the Pacers this week was not a great week for them. They lost to the Pelicans and lost to the Spurs. So definitely, don't want to be losing to one of the worst teams in the league in the San Antonio Spurs. Number 15 is going to be the Golden State Warriors, who are 32-28. They went 3-1 on the week, so pretty solid week here for the Golden State Warriors. They've been really, really good, mostly since the All-Star break. They beat the Wizards, the Knicks, and the Raptors, and their only loss was to the Celtics, even though it was a 52-point loss. So pretty horrible loss there. But your only loss is to the best team in the league, so you're still feeling pretty good about yourself. You're currently standing here at the 10 spot, but you're only half a game away from the 9 seed and only like 3 games away from being all the way up at the 6 seed. So definitely potentially could go all the way up there. You got about 6 teams here in the West from the 5 to the 10 seed that are all within 3.5 games of each other. Number 14 is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers, who are 34-29, went 3-1 on the week. Moving up a couple of spots here. They're only sitting half a game ahead of the Golden State Warriors right now. But obviously, only 3 games away from being the 5 seed. They beat the Clippers this week in a 21-point comeback, which is, obviously really impressive. Beat the Wizards, beat the Thunder, which is really good there. And their only loss is to the Denver Nuggets, who are one of the best teams in the league. They also did cut Dylan Windler, and they signed Harry Giles to replace that. Number 13 is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans, who went 2-1 on the week, 36-25 overall. So they're doing pretty solid right now. They beat the Knicks, beat the Pacers, and they lost to the Pacers once, but they didn't get Jose Alvarado back as well. So still definitely one of the best teams in the league. Currently sitting at the 5 seed for the Western Conference right now. Number 12 is going to be the Dallas Mavericks, who are 34-27. They only went 1-3 on the week, so definitely not a good week. They're definitely trending down right now. Dropped all the way to the 8 seed, and I believe they were the 5 seed at the start of the week, but now they're all the way down to 8 seed, but still only 2 games away from jumping up to the 5. They lost to the Cavs, the Celtics, and the Sixers. So you can't really be too upset at any of those losses because they're all pretty good teams. Would like to beat the Sixers without their, Joel Embiid playing, but still played a decent week. Number 11 is going to be the Orlando Magic, who are 3-0 on the week, 35-26 overall. Currently sitting right here at the 6th seed, but only half a game away from the 7. About basically within 1 game of the 4 seed or the 8 seed. So gonna have a lot of movement in there, and they definitely need to have another good week to avoid dropping all the way back down to the 8 seed. Oh yeah, but this was a good week. Obviously, going undefeated any week is a good week. They beat the Nets, the Jazz, and the Pistons. Number 10 is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers, who went 2-2 on the week. And Donovan Mitchell is going to be out for a week, so they're going to drop here 6 whole spots. They had a good lead over the Bucks for that 2 seed. They had like a 2-game lead, I think, but the Bucks went undefeated, and then the Cavs lost 2 games, so now they're all the way down here at the 3 seed. Still 3.5 games above the 4 seed, only 1 game behind the 2 seed, so they'll likely still be able to be the 2 or the 3 seed. But right now, dropped all the way down to the 3 spot. Number 9 is going to be the Los Angeles Clippers, who went 2-2 on the week, 39-21 overall. So they're still a pretty decent team, obviously, right? They only lost to the Lakers, who are a good team, and the Bucks, who are obviously a really good team as well. And they beat the Wizards, and they beat a really good team in the Minnesota Timberwolves. The only thing you're scared about is they're going to be without Russell Westbrook for about a month, which obviously is not a good look for the Clippers. Number 8 is going to be the Phoenix Suns, who are 35-26, went 1-2 on the week. They've been playing really good basketball. They only went 1-2 on the week, like I said, but we're not really too upset. They lost to the Rockets by 9. Rockets aren't a bad team, but you would like to see them win that game. But they also only lost to the Thunder this week by 8, which is good. But they are going to be without Devin Booker for a week, so definitely not the best outlook this week for the Suns. Number 7 is going to be the Sacramento Kings, who are 34-26. They went 1-2 on the week as well, but they're actually going to move up 1 spot. That was mainly because teams like the Suns and the Clippers and the Cavs, who are right below them, have a pretty significant injury for at least this week. But the Kings weren't bad. They lost to the Nuggets, who are a pretty good team. They beat the Timberwolves, who are a good team, and they only had a 4-point loss to the Bulls. But they are currently sitting. The Knicks are currently sitting at the 7 seed right now. Number 6 is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 43-19. They went 3-2 on the week. They are currently the 1 seed in the West, but obviously are not my number one ranked team in the West. But they're still definitely one of the best teams in the league, no doubt. Losing 2 games this week to the Kings, to the Clippers. You're not necessarily upset about that. And they also did sign T.J. Warren. They had Justin Jackson on a 10-day deal. They did not give him a second 10-day. Now they're going to sign T.J. Warren in replace of Justin Jackson. Number 5 is going to be the OKC Thunder. 42-19 is really good. 2-2 on the week is like okay. You like to do better than that. They lost to the Spurs and to the Lakers, so not great there. But they also did sign Mike Muscala, who's could be a good piece for them. And beat the Rockets, and they beat a good team in the Phoenix Suns, currently sitting at the 2 seed. Number 4 is the Miami Heat. They went 2-1 on the week, 34-26 overall. So this definitely still feels a little bit high. I had them I think number 5. Yeah, no, number 5 last week. They were on a 4-game winning streak coming into the week. And their only loss this week was to one of the best teams in the league in the Denver Nuggets. So I'm still having them as one of the best teams in the league, even though the record is currently, not that great. They're only the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. But I still think they're currently, over the last couple of weeks, have been playing like one of the best teams in the league for sure. And they signed Patty Mills from the Hawks, so that should be another good piece for them. So at number 3, we are going to have the Milwaukee Bucks, who jumped up 9 spots here after they went 4-0 on the week. So, obviously 4-0 was a really good week. They destroyed the Hornets by 40, beat them again by 12, beat the Bulls by 16, and beat the Clippers this week. So a really good week for the Milwaukee Bucks, who are currently sitting at the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Number 2 is going to be the Denver Nuggets, who are 42-19. They went 3-0 on the week and are going to jump up 8 spots here. So they're jumping up quite a bit of spots, but they had a really good week against some really good teams. They beat the Kings by 20, they beat the Heat by 6, and they beat the Lakers by 10. So all those teams, are really good teams, and then they beat all of them. So they're going to move up quite a bit of spots. Number 1 is going to be the Boston Celtics, obviously, sitting here at 48-12, have the best record in the league by quite a bit. I believe they have like a 6-game lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves for the next best record in the entire NBA. We're through almost 60 games. Every team's played about 60 games. And the Celtics, are probably going to be the first one to hit 50 wins. They were the first one to hit, 40 wins, the first one to hit 30 wins, the first one to hit 20 wins. They're, obviously been the most dominant team basically all season long. And then we got our top performers of the week. Tyus Jones had 14 points and 17 assists, which is really good. Rudy Gobert put up 16 and 16 rebounds. Should be rebounds, not assists. And then he had a 25-point and 16 rebound game. So really good performance from him. Luka had an insane week. Nearly a 45-point triple double, then a 30-point triple double, then a 37-point triple double, then a 38-point triple double. Just freaking amazing all week long. Giannis put up 46 with 16 boards. Colin Sexton had a 6-steal game with 22 points. Sabonis, 21 and 15 and 8. Really good game there. Then an 18-point, 21 rebound game. Caris LeVert had a 14-point, 15 assist game with 7 boards. Really good game there. Jokic had a triple-double. Yusuf Nurkic put up 14 points and 31 rebounds. 31 rebounds was, I believe, the most rebounds in a game since Kevin Love in 2010. Josh Hart had 14 points, 18 boards, and then a 13 points with 19 boards and 10 assists. So he was amazing in a couple different games this week. Wemby put up 28 and 13 with 5 blocks. Then he put up 31 and 12 with 6 blocks. AD had a 40-piece there with 15 boards. Michael Porter Jr. had 25 points and 10 rebounds on 100% shooting from the field and from three. So really good there. For him, Evan Mobley, 22 and 17 was a really good game. Lazar Thompson had 15 points with 5 steals there. And then Dame had a 40-piece as well. So a bunch of different people, having some really, really good performances this week. Now, for our award races, our MVP race is going to stay the exact same with Jokic, Shea, Luka, Giannis, and Tatum. Our Rookie of the Year race is going to be the exact same as well with Wemby, Chet, Brandon Miller, Jaime Jaquez, and Brandon Podziemski. Most improved players staying relatively the same. We're just going to have Jalen Williams for number 5 jump up to number 3, with Jonathan Kuminga dropping from number 3 to number 5. The 6th man of the year, we got Malik Monk at 1 still. Norman Powell jumps up to 2. Caris LeVert jumps up to 3. Naz Reid jumps up to number 4. And Tim Hardaway is going to drop down to number 5. And then Russell Westbrook was on that list, but obviously when he's going to be missing about a month now, he's probably not going to be able to win that award anymore. Clutch Player of the Year staying the exact same there, just having LeBron squeak in the number 5 here. So you got Curry, Shea, Dame, DeMar, and LeBron. Coach of the Year is the exact same with Daigneault, Finch, Mazzulla, Bickerstaff, and Tyronn Lue. Defensive Player of the Year, you got Rudy Gobert at number 1 still. Wemby jumps up to number 2, while Jared Allen drops down to number 3. You got Bam jumping all the way up to number 4, and then AD is going to stay at number 5. So that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out any other videos I happen to post on NBA or NFL, and make sure to subscribe if you like the videos.